All right, let's start with this one. Most of the answers are correct actually, which is very good to see. Yeah, a lot of you got the right answer. That is very good. But few very weird mistakes are there. I don't know why. Let's just see those. Okay. First of all, now look at that. The dash we make on a daily basis. Okay. The dash we make on a daily basis. Afterwards, he's saying wearing a seat belt. Okay, let me just highlight that. Wearing a seat belt, lifting heavy object correctly, on purposely staying out on dangerous situation. There are more than one things, right? It's not just one thing, it's more than one. It can be options, it can be choices, it can't be alternative, and it can't be preference as well. Some of you put preference, I don't know why, because he's just saying that the dash we make on a daily basis, wearing a seatbelt, comma this, comma this, comma this. So there are like 3 to 4 things are mentioned, so they can't be singular. You can't say the preference we make and saying 2 or 3 preferences. If it was preferences, then it would be then it might be making sense. Okay, but here he's not, so that is why alternative and preference can't be the right answer. Okay, so it's either options or it's choices. Now, do we make options or do we make choices? Options, we have these options to do it. Okay, I can't make an option. All right, so the right answer here will be the choices that we make. Okay, so the first one will be your choices. Okay, I think most of you got it right, but some of you put preferences, which was very weird. Okay, so this one should have been correct. You can't see the screen. Can everyone see the screen properly? Yeah, all good. Thanks. I think there is some issue with yours. So just make sure that you correct that. Okay. All right. Did you get the first one? Then he's saying can either ensure our safety or bring about dash harmful circumstances. Okay. Dash harmful circumstances. Some sort of like an adjective should be there. Harmful circumstances, dash harmful circumstances. Assumably doesn't make any sense. Like you're not assuming anything. You just want to say the characteristic of harmful harmful circumstances. The right answer will be potentially harmful circumstances. You can't say probably harmful. Probably means something which might happen. Okay, we can never say probably harmful circumstances. What does it mean? Okay, that means nothing. Potentially harmful effects, you have seen that word a lot. That is sort of like a collocation as well. This medicine has a potentially harmful effects on the children or something. Okay, like it has a potential to be harmful. All right, so that is why the right answer here will be potential. You can't say about much harmful effect. Okay, we won't use this word much harmful. We say more even more we don't normally use. Okay, so potentially harmful effect, like he's just telling you that it has a potential to be harmful. So basically what he wants to say is that the choices that we make on a daily basis, like wearing a seat belt, heavy lifting, and staying out of dangerous situation, can either ensure our safety or could bring us into a pretty harmful situation. Okay, so that's what he want to say. Then he's saying that exercising self-control, self-discipline, and establishing boundaries and orders in our lives are some of the most important things we can do. So now he's talking about self-control, self-discipline, and establishing boundaries. A life without discipline is one that's filled with dash. Filled with what? There has to be a noun over here. Okay, so now you have to look out for the noun. Noun is a name of a person, name of a place, or a name of a thing. Okay, irresponsible is not a noun, it's an adjective. You can't use irresponsible person, irresponsible personality, something like that. Same goes with inaccurate facts, inaccurate situation, inaccurate ideas, something like this we will use. Procrastination means to be very lazy. So for example, when you are at home, it says that, let's say you are not doing any single thing. Okay, you're just sitting idle. That means that you are procrastinating. Okay, for example, you have an exam coming up, but you are procrastinating, like you are not doing anything. Here he is not saying that. Life without discipline is one that's filled with not procrastination, filled with carelessness. The right answer here will be carelessness, because you are looking for a noun over here. All right, clear? So the third one will be carelessness. procrastination on the basis of the context, I won't be able to do that. Yes, it is a noun, but again, you have to look at the context as well. All right. You can't just simply put any noun anywhere. All right. So you have to be very careful in that sense. Then he's saying, we can think it's kind of exciting to live life on the dash. That one should have been correct. I have one or two mistakes I found. Some of you put on the verge or on the line. Okay. The right answer here is on the edge. That's a very famous collocation. We use these words together a lot. Living on the edge, you have seen, for example, if you've watched some TV ads, there is an ad of, I think, Mountain Dew or something which says like living on the edge. Okay. So live life on the edge means right on the edge of it. Verge is more academic, Manish, yes, but this is like a collocation. Okay, living on the edge. Edge means like right at the, so for example, if that's a cliff, so you are living life here right on the edge. Okay, did you get it? I think you can't see. Let's say this is my rock, so I am just living right over here. Very like a risky kind of a thing. Okay, very risky life. All right, so that is why we will use life on the edge. Okay, all options are very close to each other. You are absolutely right, but this is a collocation. Living on the edge, life on the edge, or live life on the edge. That's a very important collocation you use when we want to say something who is someone who is doing stuff which is very risky or which can harm their life. We say that guy is living on the edge. Okay, for example, the person who is doing some kind of a circus or something, we say, oh, he's just doing it, he's just living on the edge. Okay, um this one will be used a lot. Okay, then um okay, then he's saying it's become popular way to look at life, but if you see, even highways have lines which provide margins for our safety while we are driving. um if we go from one side, we will go into ditch. If we cross the line in the middle, we could get killed, and we like those lines because they help to keep us safe. Okay, so basically he want to say that they want to keep us safe, discipline, proper lines, they want to keep us in the right track. Dash, we don't even realize how lines help to keep us safe. Almost we don't have, doesn't make any sense. Frequently, we don't normally start our sentence from there. Okay, like we can't say frequently, comma, we don't, like this. Okay, the right answer here will be sometimes. Sometimes we don't even realize how lines help us keep us safe. Clear? Occasionally won't be there because most of the time the word occasionally, first of all, it won't be used that much, I would say. Especially if you are talking about like 4 or 5 linking words, it will be very rare that you will start the sentence with occasionally. Okay, sometimes that is used more. Sometimes we don't even realize how lines help to keep us safe. Like we normally don't realize that how they are keeping us safe, but they are. Okay, so the first one was choices. Second one was potentially harmful effects because you wanted to put an adjective. um Carelessness, edge, and sometimes. All right, now let me take your questions. Okay, for academic, yeah, always remember this. If there is a collocation, you always go with that. Okay, academic thing will come right after that. First priority, if there is a very important collocation, just go with the collocation. Trust me, your answer will be correct. Okay, every time use edge, same options. What does that mean? Sir, how we know that in third it should be a noun or anything? Please explain. There is nothing. Okay, how to tell you that? Irresponsible and inaccurate, these are like adjectives. They should be used with something else. Okay, you can't say filled with irresponsible. Filled with irresponsible what? So filled with irresponsible person, irresponsible something will be there after that, right? So that's how I know when I put the option. Always what I used to do was, even if you don't know the technicality of things, you don't know what is noun or proper noun or etc., put the word in and see if it makes sense or not. Okay, just read it. A life without discipline is one that's filled with irresponsible. Irresponsible what? I don't know. Irresponsible fact, irresponsible person, irresponsible methodology. What is he saying? I don't know that, so that is why I can't put that in. And adjective is something that defines the quality of something. let's say, for example, I make a sentence, the conversation is going somewhere else. So let's say, for example, I make a sentence like, he got a car. Okay, car is a noun. But if I say he got a red car is like a characteristic. I can't say a sentence like he got a red. What do you mean by he got a red? It doesn't make any sense. So there has to be a noun after that. Okay. So these two, irresponsible and inaccurate, these are like adjectives. We can't put it over here. Carelessness, life will be without discipline is one that's filled with carelessness. Like you are very careless. You can't be, you are right. I think Rishabh, you are saying without discipline, we are lazy in the third blank. Discipline, these are two different things. Like discipline is more like careless. For example, if I'm throwing things around, that doesn't mean that I'm lazy. That just means that I'm not disciplined enough. Okay, I'm just throwing stuff around. For example, I'm just throwing my clothes here and there. That doesn't mean that I'm lazy. I'm just being a little bit careless. I don't even care about that stuff. So that is the meaning. Okay, so context wise, that would be making sense. Do we have list there for collocations? Yes, there is a list on Pearson website. It has a lot of collocations available. I think it has around like 1500 collocations, but I won't recommend it that much because sometimes it's a very long list. So you will definitely get bored. But if you're very excited to learn, then you can go through that. But I won't recommend it that much. The best way, you must have read these collocations somewhere or during these blanks or during your practice. If you find any, just make sure that you keep a track of that. So that's, I think, the more efficient way, I would say, to do this. In fourth, why not line? Because further the explanation is about line. Living on the line, okay, that line is not the line. Living on the, how can you live on the line? Let's say these are talking about highway lines. Okay, Kritika, they are talking about highway lines. Now you can't live on the highway line, right? Like, why would you live on the road with the line on it? So don't just look for the word line and put the stuff over there. Live life on the edge, meaning that's a collocation. Okay, so that is where so that is why it will be edge, not the line. Okay, never ever just see words and put your options. A lot of you make this mistake. Now what normally students do, they see a blank, they see the word lines over there, they're like, okay, he's talking about lines, just put the line. I can guarantee your answer will be wrong because you don't understand the context. I can't live on a particular line on the highway, right? Like, how will I? So it doesn't make sense. All right. So that is why it has to be live on the edge. That is a collocation. Yeah, collocation list is available on the Pearson website. Just enter on Google Pearson collocation list. I might have that. I'm not sure, but I will look. If I find it, I will just share it in the chat. But you guys can Google it. Just write collocation list. Collocation list on Pearson. So you should be able to find that. This thing ma'am told us sometimes. Which thing? The collocation list? Yeah, so she must have told you, so you can get that list, but I won't recommend it that much because it's a very long list. You will get bored, but if you want to, you can. Okay, I will try to share it with you, all of you, in the chat if I find it. Otherwise, I have to download it. All right. Any questions? Sir, send details in the chat box. Okay. I will look for the collocation list and I will send it to you guys. All right. Any other questions for this one? Use same blank line words that are in the para. But you can't blindly do that. Now, if you look at it, now remember these blanks. Oh, Sachin have sent it. Yeah, you can just follow that, I think. Now, remember one thing, she must have said it. Sometimes what happens is, if there are 4 difficult words, the same difficult word is used in the later half of the paragraph. That will happen. But you can't blindly look at it. You can't just ask yourself, how can you live on the line? What does that mean? Right? So no matter how many lines he is talking about, you can't just put that answer in. It has to make sense first of all. So what she is saying, she is absolutely right. Like Ripan must have told you that if there is a difficult word in the passage and the same difficult word is in the option and you have no choice, then you can use that word. That's absolutely right. But Never ever blindly put, you see the word lines and you put lines. You will 110% make a mistake. Okay. So be very, very careful about it. There is a difference. Okay. So don't mix stuff up. Be very careful. First thing, always remember, think logically. Okay. Always open your mind and think logically. All right. All good. Any other questions in the first one? Claire? All right, let's do the second one. I didn't see the marks. I think only some of you send it. So in the next question, just make sure that you guys send your answers. Sorry, send your marks as well. 4, 5, 4, 5. Only the people who got 4 or 5, they are sending them. Okay, well, you got 5. Good. All right. It seems like everyone is getting 5. How? Okay, let's do one more. All right, let's do this one and see how you guys do it. Okay. Same thing, but in this one, don't make this mistake. Don't just blindly put the options. First, logical thinking. Okay. All right, let's start with this one. Let me see your answers first. 𝗙𝗿𝗀𝗃𝗲. Good job. Some of you got 5, I think. Few mistakes are there. Okay, let's discuss these. First one should be correct. Okay, first is an easy one, I would say. He's saying that, okay, cataract is a disease of eyes that can cause blindness. Okay, I think you might have heard that word before. So he's saying cataract is the major cause of blindness, which is also caused by a damage to the cornea. So in your eye, there is a part called cornea. So if the image is not forming, that means that you are getting blind. Okay. So he's saying that cataract, that is a name of a disease that is a major cause of blindness in people. Okay. Which is caused by how it is caused when there is a damage to a part named cornea inside your eye. It occurs more dash in old age. More dash means the chances or probability is higher in old age. Okay, because you have also seen that in your daily life that if a person is getting old, chances of him getting blind or getting problem in his eyesight is going to be more. Okay, it occurs more dash in old age. More what? More constantly doesn't make sense. Like it's not going to happen constantly. Repeatedly won't be right. The right answer here will be it is more often. Seldom means rare. It occurs more often in old age. Okay. Seldom means sometime it occurs, sometime it's not. All right. So that is why it occurs more often in old age. More often is also like we use these words, and especially when we talk about the old age and blindness, it goes with the context as well. All right. So the first one will be more often in old age. Okay. As one starts growing old, the lens of the eye hardens, loses its transparency, and become opaque. Opaque means which is not transparent and become opaque. Like for example, the image is not going to form. Okay, so it's very like this, not transparent, very. So for example, if the glass is transparent, you cover it with something, that means it's become opaque. Okay, it dash the light rays from entering the eye. Now you have to figure out what tense to use. Now someone was asking me how to solve the grammar one. I told you guys, whenever you have a grammar one, like look at that. Is blocking, stopped, obstructs, will be. This one is future. This is present indefinite, past indefinite, present continuous. Okay. You have to figure out what kind of sentence is that. It dashed the light rays from entering the eye. It could be anything. Look at the sentence before that. Starts growing old, loses its efficiency. Okay, becomes. So basically, what he's saying is, as I told you, you will only use SES form when we are talking about something very habitual or which happens on a very regular basis, or which is sort of like a um which is sort of like a habit kind of a thing or a regular kind of a thing. I gave you example like he goes for a walk daily, something like that. Okay, the dash, um it dash the light rays from entering the eye. It is blocking the eye ray. It's not just doing it now. Okay, so it can happen like later on as well. The right answer here will be obstructs. Okay, you will put SES form over here. Will be clogging means that in the future it will do that. Here, that is not the word which is making sense. Okay, why would in the future he will be doing that? Stopped mean past. My sentence is not in the past, so that is why I won't put stopped. So the right answer here will be obstructs, meaning it obstructs the light rays from entering the eye. Very simple, very like a common kind of a thing that's what it does. Okay, so that is why the right answer will be obstructs. Okay, very good. Those of you who got it right, I think majority of you got it right, which is good, but there were some mistakes as well. All right, then the dash of cataract blurs the vision. This one is a little bit hard. Okay, the right answer here is actually onset. So that's a total vocabulary one. Okay, outbreak is usually for some epidemic or a disease. For example, outbreak of coronavirus, etc. We use this word. Okay, cataract is not an outbreak. It's not going to happen to me, and it will also happen to you. Okay, upsurge is also used in the same thing, like something which is spurring out. It's like happening everywhere. So it's not like an upsurge. The right answer is onset. Onset means something unpleasant which just start to happen. Okay. Just write the meaning of that word. So maybe if the same word comes again, uh, you shouldn't make the mistake. Okay. But these kind of words that can come, if you don't know the meaning, then there is nothing you can do, to be honest, about this. Okay. But these kind of questions will be very rare. Okay. Arrival of contract. Arrival is used when something is arriving. Like it's not like arrival which is something very pleasant. For example, arrival of bride we use, arrival of guest we use. We can't say arrival of a disease. Okay. So the right answer will be onset, like the beginning part of cataract. Okay. Sometimes the cataract patient sees multiple images dash a single object, dash a single object image. So he's not looking at one image, he is just seeing multiple image. What should be the answer? On behalf of means like on behalf of someone. He is not doing that. Like, why would I see on behalf of someone else? That can't be the right answer. Okay. Alternatively also won't be right. On the contrary, normally we start the sentence from this word. I think we saw it yesterday or the last class. I told you there was an option contrary. I told you contrary won't be will never be used alone. On the contrary will be used and in the beginning of the sentence mostly. Okay. So the right answer here will be instead of. Okay. So instead of seeing a single image, people are looking at multiple images. All right. Development of cataract is a complex process. However, the following factors dash to its formation. Generally develops. Okay. Again, he's saying some factors which dash its development. So maybe contributing towards its development. The following factors are attributing, must attribute. Must will not be there because you are not obvious about it. He's saying generally. He's not even sure. He's just saying, okay, that can happen, that can happen, that can happen. The right answer will be that can be attributed to its formation. Okay, can be attributed, like these are the factors which are responsible for its formation. All right, so that is why it will be can be attributed. Okay, why not 5 in A? 5 is A. Yeah, are attributing means which are happening now or it's continuously doing it. It's not. Again, as I told you in the beginning as well, he's generally telling you about this disease. That's what happened, that is what it is about. So it's not like happening now. All right, it's not a continuous tense, so that is why I won't be using are attributing. That can be attributed to its formation. Like these factors can be responsible. It could be either this or this or this. Okay, all of these factors are not, so that is why it won't be a continuous one. All right, so that is why I will use can be attributed. Okay. Are being is used when you talk about present. Okay, I will write it down over here. Whenever it's a present continuous tense and it is used in the passive voice. Okay, then you will use are being. Okay, for example, let me think of an example. Cricket. That's a continuous tense. If I want to convert it into a passive voice, I will say cricket or the sports are being conducted by the cricketers or whatever. Okay, so present continuous tense in the passive voice, then you will use are being or is being or will be being. All right, so these three will be used. Okay, but I think these grammar rules, I think in the video on your Language Academy portal, it's more like they're designed on that. I will definitely help you out if you get it. But yeah, you can watch those videos. I think it will definitely improve your grammar. Are attributing, yeah, as I told you, it's not something which is happening continuously. Factors can be attributed, like this factor can following factors. It's not like these are the only one, and it's not like which is happening continuously. All right, this could be the factor, this could be the factor, or the other one. All right, so he's generally saying all these things, all these factors he is generally defining. So that is why it will be can be attributed. Okay, so that is why the right answer will be can be, because you're not sure and it's not something which is happening continuously. Okay, all right, any other questions, any doubts in this one? All right, let's do one more. Then we will move on to the next one. Okay, this is an easy one. I think it looks easy. I'm not sure. I haven't read it yet. Um, Again, 2.5 minutes, then we will have a look. All right. In this question, I don't want to see any mistake in the first blank. Okay. No matter what you do, first blank should be correct. Okay. We have discussed this a lot. And now I am expecting the right answer, especially in the first blank. Okay. So no mistake at all. Think, apply the rules that we discussed, and make sure that this one is right. Okay. All right, let's start with the first one. Now, as I told you, first one should be correct. In the beginning, all of you were right, but then at the end, those of you were sending the answers Anu, Jignesha, Rajni, Yatam, Shivali. There were a lot of mistakes. Shivali, why would you put had affected? As I told you, had will be used very rarely, first of all, and you have to look at the sentence. First thing, we have to look at the sentence. Is it in present or is it in past? Are obese. That means that your sentence is given in the present tense. So I will definitely, first of all, I will eliminate had affected. It will not be the answer. Okay. Now, what should be the answer? As I told you, we have been discussed this so many times. An epidemic of obesity or being overweight dash many countries in the world. Sentence is in the active voice, right? What is the subject? This is a subject which is saying obesity or epidemic of obesity dash many countries of the world. So the right answer will be is affecting many countries in the world. Lot of you got it right, but has been affected, as I told you, it's only been used when it's talking about something in the passive voice. Here he is not talking about in the passive. Okay, so since it's present, the right answer will be is affecting. Okay, clear? So majority of you got it right. That's very good to see. That means that you are learning properly, but I don't want any of you to make these mistakes. Okay, so be very careful. All right, clear? So the first one will be is affecting. Okay, next one, obesity dash be for a particular reason. Now he's telling like there could be any reason. It's a very simple word, like it's just a slip of tongue from a mouth as well. The right answer will be could be from any reason. I think majority of you got it right as well. Okay, you can't say must be. Okay, you can't say must be because it's not like something which is very obvious. All right, or you are not forcing it like must be for a particular reason. Okay, it could be for any particular. If it was can, then I might have put that. Okay, so the right answer will be could. Okay, I will explain the first one and the active passive after finishing this question. Okay, I will give you a little bit of a detail. All right, Doris and iPhone. Okay, I will explain that. Claire, so the second one is good. Then he's saying in the United States, obesity is more dash in lower income group. Even without looking at the option, the word which comes into mind is like common. But here common is not given. It says commonplace. Commonplace means in a common place, which won't be right. Okay, so I can't put commonplace over here. Now I have to look for some other word. The right answer here will be we can't put foremost, like well recognized. Obesity is more foremost, doesn't make any sense. Okay, the right answer is prevalent. Prevalent means which is living in that area or which is more common in lower income groups. Okay, so that is why I can't use commonplace. I will just put prevalent over here. Crime is prevalent, disease is prevalent in this area means it's more common in these particular area. Clear? Again, the next one. Now, dash obesity commonly means being overweight. It is defined as an excess amount of body weight that includes muscle, bone, fat, and water. Okay. Despite could be used with something negative. Okay, first of all, even won't be the answer because he's not talking about something which is like whole positive. He's saying dash obesity commonly means overweight. It is defined as an excess amount of body weight that include muscle, bone, this and that. The right answer for here is though. Okay, or although and though is used when you want to say although this is happening, yet it could be the case. All right, although yet we normally use these two together. Okay, here is no yet over here, but he is just putting a comma. Though obesity commonly means being overweight, it is defined as an excess amount of body weight that include muscle, bone, fat, and water. Why it's not despite? Despite, always remember whenever it will be used, majority of the time, there will always be some ing form with that. Okay, majority of the time, like around 60 to 70% of the time, you will see an ing form. Like despite being late for the class, he was still be able to do that. Okay, though normally comes in between in the sentence, but it can begin. But yeah, you are right, it will be very rare. Majority of the times it will. But now mostly the sentence will start from although, but although is not given over here. So the only possible option according to this context will be though. That's the issue about reading. Rules will work, but they will work 99% of the times. There will always be 1% which is sort of like a contrasting kind of a thing. And there is literally nothing I can do about it. That's what the language is all about. So that's why it's not like maths or it's not like science that, okay, one answer fitted everywhere, you will be correct. Majority of the times it will be, but sometimes there will be variables or there will be some contradictions as well. Okay, so that is one of them. You are right. Most of the times it won't begin, but here it has to begin with that because there is no other option. Clear? All right, now last one was very simple. Usually men with more than 25% body fat and women with more than 35% body fat are regarded as obese. Like they are considered more, you can say obese or fat. Obesity dash to run in family, suggesting a genetic cause. Obesity dash to. Now, again, that's a collocation tends to. Okay, tends to means which is very like it tends to, like that is like a routine that it tends to run in family, suggesting a genetic cause. Okay, so the right answer will be tends. Why I'm putting SCS form? Because obesity is singular. All right, so always remember this thing. Whenever you have something singular and we are talking about the present tense, you will use S or ES form with that. Whenever you are talking about something plural, you will use simple first form of verb. Okay, just like we saw in the previous question as well. All right, so you will put this one. Clear? Obesity likely to, that is grammatically incorrect. Okay, because there is no helping verb over here. If the sentence was obesity is dash to run in the play in families, then I would have put likely. Obesity is likely to run. There is no helping verb over here. That means you have to put S or ES form with that. There is sorry. There is no ism or was were over here. Madrasa, so that is why we won't be using obesity likely to run. You need some helping verb. So that is why obesity tends to. It's working as a verb over here. Okay, verb with S or ES form. Okay, so that is why tends will be the right answer for this one. Okay. Active and passive voice. Can you repeat the first one? Yeah, first one should be clear. Okay, let me erase all of that. All right. First thing first, always remember when you are talking about the grammar questions, read the text from the beginning. Here, an epidemic of obesity or being overweight dash many countries in the world. You know the subject. That is the subject which is happening. Epidemic of obesity dash many countries is affecting many countries. That means that your sentence is in the active voice because the subject is given over here. If the sentence was many countries in the world are affected by a epidemic of obesity, then I will put has been affected or anything. So that's in the passive voice. Difference between active and passive. In your active voice, subject will come first, then verb, then object. In the passive voice, object will come first and subject will come later. I think we have discussed that. For example, scientists are doing this research. Who is doing it? Scientists are doing it. So you will put that is an active voice. But if my sentence is like research is dash by the scientist, so I will say research is conducted by the scientist. So that's in the passive voice. Okay. In simple terms, I want to clear it once and for all. Write it down if you want. In any sentence, if you know a person who is doing the work, that means it's the active sentence. If you don't know a person who is doing the work, that means that it is a passive sentence. If you look at it, he's saying an epidemic of obesity or being overweight. Everything in the sentence is happening because of this. So that's a subject, it's given right away. I will put that. That is a subject, that will be a verb, and that will be the object. Okay, so that is a clear cut active sentence. Okay, so I will put is affecting over here. Clear? If my sentence was shaped like many countries in the world dash an epidemic of obesity, then I would have put has been affected by epidemic obesity. You get it? Person doing work, active. If you know a person who is doing the work, that means active. Otherwise, it's passive. Rosh, yeah. What do you want to clear? iPhone, is it clear? I don't know why your name says iPhone. Just change it to your own name so that I can get it. Doris, you got it. Good job. Yeah. Shumaila Khan, you want to clear something up? Just what do you want to? When do we use shall? Yeah, okay, Mira. Shall is used for something when you talk about in the future tense. Okay. I shall go there. Okay. Like if I speak in Hindi, it says मैं वहां जाऊंगा. Okay. So something which is happening in the future, that is where we will use a shall or will. Okay. Repeat where we use has been in this case. Yeah. So it's not in this case. I'm just giving you an example. If the sentence was shaped like many countries in the world dash an epidemic of obesity, so then I might have put has been affected by epidemic obesity. Okay. Why not nonetheless in the fourth one? What's the fourth one? Nonetheless is normally used when you talk about something contrasting, though and although they're not contrasting. I don't know how to say, but it's like when you're doing something, although this, yet this is this. I can't explain it properly, I know, but I'm not looking for the I'm even after, yeah, sort of like that. Yeah, if you can help me out, that's right. But nonetheless comes in the category of like however, nonetheless, nevertheless, these kind of words. Okay, so they will be completely talking about something which is negative. All right. Though even after anyways, yeah, sort of. You can say that. Did you get that, Rupam? Oh, thank you. We used it in the contrasting. Yeah. In the last blank, why did not we use happens? Obesity happens to run. Again, it's like a collocation. We don't say happens to run families. We say tends to run in family. That is like a collocation, or we use that word more often, Karnal. So that is why tends to be. Okay. So that's the reason why we didn't use happens. About second, could and would use for sure thing or some doubt. Yeah, both can be used for some which is the doubtful thing, but would is sort of like a futuristic kind of a thing. Okay. um like would is used for something future which is not clear, and could is used for something which is past and which is not too clear. Okay, did you get it? Meaning is almost similar to each other. Okay, obesity could be for a particular reason. Okay, would be means, again, it, okay, I will just give you an example, not example, in the form of verb kind of a way. Can is the first form, could is the second, and could is the third. Similarly, will, would. So that's the origin of this word. Can will be used like sort of like in the pastish kind of a way, and this one will be used in a futuristic kind of a way. So that is why here could will be making more sense. So that is why I put could over here. Okay. All good. Any other questions in this one? Clear? All right, let's jump towards some reorder paragraph. All right, yesterday you guys did very well in this one. Let's see how you do over here. Okay, so the first one is the cricket based one. Let's just do that. Again, make sure that all the answers are correct. Yeah, let's see how you do. Just maintain the same performance as you guys did in the last one. Okay, yesterday. All right, this question was a little bit tricky, but I think most of some of you got it right. First one, let's start with the standalone sentence. Okay. The first ODI was played on 5th January 1971 between Australia and England at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. Okay, it could be my first one, but he's saying the first ODI. That means he must have told you that what is that ODI, then he will do that. Okay, so that is why I can't put it as my first one. A one-day international ODI is a form of limited overs cricket played between two teams with international status in which each team faces a fixed number of overs, usually 50. Very simple, very generic, telling you what the ODI is or what the one-day international is. So it could be my first one. But I haven't read the other two, so I can't select my answer yet. I will put a dash around it, right? Then he's saying the international one-day game is a late 20th century development. Again, the international one-day game. Okay. What is he saying? It can't be the first one. The Cricket World Cup is played in this format. What do you mean by this format? Okay. I can't put that in. All right. So, first thing, what should be the right answer? Very easy one. With the help of this word, format, I will put B. First of all, okay, the first one will be option B because he is just simply saying that. All right. A very simple, very generic sentence. Now, just look at this sentence. He's just saying played between two teams with international status in which each team faces a fixed number of usually 50 overs. He's telling you about the 50 overs. That's what he told you only. Played between two teams, each team faces 50 overs. It could be the second one. It could be. That's very confusing for me personally as well. But Rupam, you got it right. The second one will be option D. Why? Just because of this word in this format. What do you mean by this format? That's the only format which he has mentioned. In option A, he didn't talk about any format. In option C, he didn't talk about any format. Okay. So the right answer, just because of this word in this format, I will put B and D all together. That the World Cup is played in this format. Clear? Now, what should be the second one? B and D are the right one. After this, the third one will be the international ODI game. One day game is a late 20th century development. Okay. He is telling you that it is a late 20th century development. That would be option C. Now he will give you an example of that. Late 20th century means late 1990s. Now he will tell you exactly what he is saying. The first ODI was played on 5th of January between Australia and England at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. 1971 means that it is happening at the late 20th century. So the right answer will be B, D, C, and A. I think very few of you got it right. Follow acronym rule over there. Always remember this pyramid whenever you are solving this reorder paragraph or any reorder paragraph. Okay, generic information will be first and specific information will be second. All right. So it will always converge like this. Look out for the words like this, them, there, these, etc. As I told you, these words, they could be the basis of your reorder paragraph. Okay, clear? So the first one was B, since he's talking about the format and the over in this format. What do you mean by this format? 50 overs, so I will put D over here. Then the international game was developed in this, and then he is giving you an example over here. So sort of like example rule is used in this one, that first ODI was played on 5th of Jan 1971 between Australia and England at MCG. Clear? Any questions? Any doubts in this one? I am not getting many results, so I am assuming like most of you made mistakes. Some of you got it right. I saw that, but still, that's good. Let's do one more. Now it's a fifth 5 sentences one. Okay. Let's see how you do in this one. All right. Forget about the first one. That's fine. You were just warming up. So I will give you the benefit of the doubt if you have made a mistake, but this one should be correct. Okay. We will start in 2.5 minutes. Think properly, and then we will solve that. Okay, for now, I just saw only one right answer. Just look at it again. Okay, let's see. First thing, all of you got the standalone sentence correct. All right, let's start reading from the beginning. He's saying that it is responsible for the death of 5 crore people each year all over the world. It is responsible. What is responsible? I don't know. So that means it can't be my first sentence. Okay. Many people get rid of this habit on their own. What do you mean by this habit? Again, I don't know. So I can't put it as my first one as well. And those who are willing to but can't go to de-addiction centers. Okay. So what habit? What do you mean by this? What do you mean by it? I have no clue up till now that what is happening. Quitting cold turkey, stopping the use of tobacco at once works well only for those who have control and determination to quit. Could be, but again, I'm not sure what is he talking about. All right, so it can't be my first one. Look at D. Tobacco is the second biggest cause of death in the world. Very simple, very generic. It could be my first one. These centers. What do you mean by these centers? So I can't put that in as well. All right. So very easy. The first one will be option D, that tobacco is the biggest cause of death in the world. He's talking about the death. Many people get rid of this habit. No, the right answer will be DA. Okay. Just 1 second. All right. Yeah. I think there's some issue with my mouse. Yeah. So the first one was D, second biggest cause of death in the world. He's talking about the cause of death. Now he's saying it is responsible for the death of 5 crore people. He's just elaborating the same fact. All right. So after this, I will just put A over here. All right. At the end of A, he's saying it is responsible for the death of 5 crore people each year all over the world. So every year, 5 crore people actually died. Now, many people get rid of this habit. Yes, it could be. Quitting cold turkey, stopping the use of tobacco at once works well with this. Yes, it could be my first one as well. But now you have to look at which one is the more generic one and which one is giving you more like an introduction, which is giving you more like explanatory kind of a thing. Okay. For this one, none of these sentences are talking about the deaths. Okay. Still, we have to figure out quitting cold turkey. He is not talking about any quitting yet. That is why, and he's saying these centers. So there is no centers which is mentioned at the end of this. The right answer or the only option which I'm left will be option B. Many people get rid of this habit. What do you mean by this habit? The one which is responsible for the death of 5 crore people. On many people get it on their own, and those who are willing to but can't go to the detection centers. Now he's talking about these addiction centers. Now what should be the answer? These centers. So again, as I told you last time, just like in the previous question, this, them, their, these words are extremely important in your reorder paragraph. Trust me, if you figure these words out, you can easily solve this question. Okay. And the last one will be option C, which is giving you an example of this quitting. That quitting cold turkey, stopping the use of tobacco at work works well, but only for those who have control and determination to quit. Clear? Any questions? So the right answer will be D, A, B, E, C. I will explain that again. D will be the first one, since he's talking about the second biggest death of in the world. Just elaborating the same thing, it is responsible for the death of 5 crore people. So he's just talking about the death of 5 crore people. So I will put A after that. Then nothing about quitting or anything. So he will say many people get rid of this habit on their own, and those who are willing to but can't go to the addiction centers. Now I know about the addiction centers, these centers. So B and E, that's a very easy pair. And the last one that is left will be option C, which is giving you an example of these quitting strategies. Okay, so the right answer is D, A, B, E, C. Okay, all good. Do you guys want to do one more, or do you want to jump to the fill in the blanks? What do you think? Whatever you say. One more. Okay, let's do one more. Okay, let's do this one. Okay, and make sure that that one is correct. Why C in the end, not in the middle? Okay, just 1 minute. Again, in the middle, you have to make sense out of it, right? These two are making sense because he's talking about getting rid of this. All right. So first he will tell you about quitting. Here he is not talking about stopping the use of tobacco. He hasn't mentioned that before. So that is why D and A will come first. Then he will introduce you. Many people can get rid of this habit. What do you mean by this habit? The one which is killing these many people. Okay. And then you will put E and C together because of these centers and example of that. All right. So that is why it won't be in the middle. All right, let's do number 3. Um, okay, yeah, we will do that one tomorrow. All right, let's do number 3 and let's see how you do it. Okay, up till now, I didn't see any correct answer. Okay, so there are few mistakes, one pair and some two. So just make sure that you are getting it right. Okay. All right, let's start. I still didn't find any right answer. I think it's a bit tricky. Not A as a standalone sentence. Okay, Anu, you got it right finally. First one, very simple, very generic. Kritika, you are right as well. People who develop diabetes in adolescence face a diminished quality of life and shortened span, particularly if the disease progress untreated. It could be my standalone sentence. Yes, it can be. Okay, very simple. It is very generic. But if I look at the other options, there are more you can say introductory statements, just like C. The major health threat is the early development of type C, type 2 diabetes, adult onset, particularly in children with a family history of disease. Okay. It's a scary prospect. It can't be my first one. Doctors are reporting a surge in young adolescents developing type 2, which can lead to heart disease. Now, it could be as well, but it's not defining type 2 diabetes that what actually that is. So that is why for this one, the right answer will be option C. Okay. Afterwards, he is telling you, now most of you got this pair right. C and D will be very easy pairs. He is talking about type 2 diabetes. And then he will just say, doctors are reporting a surge in young adolescents developing type 2 diabetes, which can lead to heart disease, high blood pressure, kidney disease, stroke, limb amputation, and blindness. Okay. C and D are the very easy pair because he's talking about development, early development, and then he is talking about developing. Okay. Now, what should be the answer? It's a scary prospect. Or if he's talking about preventable, let's say I'm putting CDBA. If I'm putting preventable, then he is not going to tell me like, okay, it can be prevented, it is preventable, but then I will say again that people who develop diabetes in adolescence face a diminished quality of this. That won't be right. So that is why the right answer will be C, D, A, and B. Like A will come first and B will come second. Why? Because he will first tell you that how can you prevent it. Who develop diabetes face a diminished, sorry, first he will tell you about the consequences, particularly if the disease progresses untreated. However, it's a scary situation, but in many cases, obesity. What is a scary situation? That's a scary situation which he's talking about, that progress and disease untreated, it can shorten your lifestyle or lifespan. Okay, so the right answer will be C, D, E, and B. Okay, this one was a little bit tricky. I get that as well. All right. See, that's why I was asking you to do two only. All right. So that you could have finished at high. But remember one more thing with reading, the problem is whenever you feel tired or you feel like, okay, now I'm done, I just want a break or something, you will see that you will start making mistakes. That's why I always start with the reading, writing blanks. And I try to do reading blanks normally before, so that you will be thinking straight. And by the end, you reach 8:15, 8:20, 8:30, your mind will start to switch off. You will get hungry. You are like, okay, I just want something else. You will start making mistakes. Always remember, whenever you are practicing your reading, and that's what I recommend students when they book the exam as well, try to do it with the fresh mindset. Okay, if your mind is not present over there at that time, it will be very difficult for you to get your score. Remember, PT is not a test of your English language. It's a it's a performance based test, like what you do on that day. All right, so make sure on that day be very fresh, refresh your mind, get good food, get plenty of sleep before, and then go for it. Okay, you will get your answers correct, trust me, that will definitely happen. All right, any questions, any doubts? Okay, let's start with the reading blanks now. We will try to do as much as we can. um Again, 2 to 3 minutes, don't rush, spend time on this. We will focus on the quality, not just to finish all of the questions or try to do 15-20 questions every day. Even if you do 10 and these are correct, that means you are on the right track. Okay, so let's do this one, then we will discuss that in detail. All right, let's start with this one. Find a lot of correct answers in this. Okay, very good job. Good. That definitely means that you guys are listening properly and you guys are understanding the rules as well. Okay, let's start. Okay, first he's saying that choice of a career is not simply a matter of likes and dislikes. So basically, it's not just about liking and disliking whenever you are choosing a career. Financial resources play a very important role in dash to choose a profession. In dash, so like for example, in selecting a profession or in deciding something like that should be there, right? If you look at the option in reasonable, in vital, in preservance, in suited, crucial, resolution doesn't make sense. In matched, to choose no, won't be right. So it's the only word which is making sense is deciding. In deciding to choose a profession. So basically, in selecting a profession, you have to look at the financial resources as well. So now he's saying that for lack of funds, one will have to choose a far humbler career. Okay. So if it has less funds or it's not going to pay much, one have to use or one have to choose a far humbler career, means a little bit less or not that very like very active or very bright kind of a career. Okay, one can take to politics if one has an aptitude of public life. So if someone is interested in public life, public speaking, etc., they can go for the politics. It is a profession of hard labor and dash. Remember the rule that we discussed in detail. And whenever there is and, if there is something before and, something similar will be there after and. It's talking about hard labor. What other word which is related to hard labor? Suited, crucial doesn't make sense. The right answer will be perseverance, meaning steadfast, or whenever you are um like a perseverance kind of a thing, meaning you are very hard working, hard labor, and very kind of a preservative kind of a perseverance, means you have a lot of dedication and you have a lot of you can say vigor. That's the right word, I think. Okay, so hard work and perseverance. If you have strong optimism, ambition for fame, and prepared to face the worst, you are best dash for politics. Again, I think all of you got it right. That's best suited for politics. Okay, you are best suited for politics, like you are more suitable for the politics. Then he's saying if you have enough money or resources and you want to get rich, you can choose businesses as your career. Therefore, be practical, logical, and dash in choosing your choices, in choosing your profession. Same thing, and is there, right? Someone is practical, someone is logical, means he's thinking logically. And dash, what other word is related to logical? Vital, no. Matched, no. The right answer will be reasonable. Okay, be practical, logical, and reasonable. So that one will be my number 4th. Okay, this is a dash choice. Now he want to say this is something which is very crucial. This is a crucial choice. It could be vital, but it says a vital choice won't be right. um so that's a very crucial choice, so that your whole career depends on that. Okay, so that is why we will put crucial over here. I saw most of you got it right, which is excellent to see. Okay, good job. Those of you are making mistakes, just make sure that think a little bit more logically. Apply all these rules now. After 1 week of classes, for example, if I am teaching you for 1 week, the next week when you start again, you will see that the same rules will keep on circulating again and again. Okay, and that's what reading is all about. There are few rules in the real exam, they will be repeated again and again. Okay, once you are sure of this, I want you to just develop that confidence level in you, that whenever you are solving, you are not scared. You're like, okay, yeah, this one I've read. You will solve it and your answer will be correct. Okay, so that's what we are trying to do over here, and I think I am seeing a lot of improvement. Hopefully that's not just here, in the real exam it will be as well. Okay, let's do one more, then we will move on to the next. But keep the same momentum, no mistakes, think logically, and then let's see what you do. All right, let's start with this one. Now I knew that in the first one, some of you will make mistakes, but it's good to see the right answers as well. All right. Now I was feeling that you might put, okay, look at the first one. Falling down or failing is one of the most agonizing, means that's very painful, embarrassing, and dash human experiences. Now, those of you who are not reading it properly, what you will do, you are like, okay, he said with and if there is ing form before, there will be ing form after. But I also said that it will be related to each other. Never ever blindly put options. So when you see agonizing, embarrassing, you will see fulfilling, you will just select that. How can it be that it's agonizing, embarrassing, and fulfilling? Fulfilling means that very satisfying human experience. How? That won't be right. So you have to think logically. Okay. Agonizing, embarrassing, and dash. Some words similar to that or related to that will be there. Yes, 90% of the times the tenses will be same as well, but not in every scenario. But the meaning will definitely 100% will be the same. So you have to look out for something which is agonizing and which is embarrassing. Creepy means it's not like when we say about failure, we don't say it's a creepy failure. Creepy means like a creep. You have heard that word, okay? Which is like very unlike or not liked by anyone. Look at this word, okay, which is the one agonizing, painful, embarrassing, and scariest human experience, okay? But it is also one of the most educational, empowering, and essential part. Now look at that. He is using ing form, educational, empowering, and essential. So again, won't be something very similar, okay? Of living a successful and dash life. Something related to successful has to be there. Okay, successful and what life? Successful and fulfilling life. So I will put fulfilling over here, and the first one will be scariest. If you put fulfilling in the first one, then you will definitely make mistakes in the second one. All right. So that's what I want to say. Be very careful when you put the answers. Okay. Did you know that perseverance is one of the 7 qualities that have been described as the dash to personal success and betterment in the society? Now, it's the something like which is the basis of that. Okay, look at the word over here, keys. It should be key. Actually, there is a typo error over here, so which is the key to personal success and betterment in the society. So the third one will be your key. Okay, clear? Then Thomas Edison is a model for grit for trying 1000 plus times to invent the light bulb. When asked why he kept going, dash his 100 of with dash his hundreds of failure. Without even looking at the option, try to guess the word. When asked why he kept going after his hundred of failure, some word related to that will be there, right? Look at the option. Creepy, no. Better, no. Except hundreds of failure, no. The right answer will be despite. Okay, as I told you, with despite you will use ing form. Kept going despite his hundreds of failures. So despite, there will be some ing form before or after that. Okay, so the right answer here will be despite that. Although he failed a lot, but still he kept going. There were hundreds of ways not to create a light bulb. This statement not only dash his I will explain all that question, Rajni. Just wait 1 second. This statement not only dash his grit, not only what? Not only revealed. Now look at that. How will I know whether it's revealed or any other option? Look at this thing. Were. Okay. Ways not to create. Before that, he's saying had been. All right. That means that whole thing is going in the past tense. This statement not only, now you have to look at something in the past. I can't say aspect, I can't say creepy, better, defined, or revealed could be there. This statement not only revealed his grit, means it doesn't only show his grit, but also his optimism for looking dash the bright side, looking at the bright side. So the number 6 will be looking at that. Okay. With look, we use the word look at. Okay. There were a lot of questions being asked. Sorry, I couldn't do that then. Now I will do. With despite, you won't put any comma. Okay. Despite being there, then there will be a comma. Okay. Despite his hundreds of failures, comma, then he will say that. But after despite, there will never be a comma. Okay. Always remember that. Why not defined? Because defined, the statement not only defined his grade, not like define, it's not defining his grade, it showed people his grade. Like people, he that's what people know, that when he invented the light bulb, he was very courageous and he got lessons from all his failures. Okay, so that is why revealed will be more ideal option as compared to defined. Okay, in the sense of context. Sir, why not going on? Where is going on? Okay, why I ask him why he kept going on his hundreds of failure. What do you mean kept going on? Okay, going on is fine, but you can't say, just read the sentence. Why when asked why he kept going on his hundreds of failure, not going on his failure. He's not going on his failure. He's going after his failure. Like once he failed, he still tried to make the bulb. Okay, and he still didn't leave that. So that is why it can't be going on, going despite his hundreds of failures. Like although he has failed, but why he still want to go? Did you get it? Um, so that is why it won't be why not. Okay, sorry, that's why it's not going on. Despite I have explained, its collection scariest on. What does that mean? Where better? In the first one, you can't say better human experience. Successful and better life. Success means you are living life which is successful and fulfilling, like everything you have. So that's what success is. Better with successful, more appropriate word will be fulfilling. Okay, so that's why I will put fulfilling in this one. Okay, let me see. Because of S in keys, I selected aspect. I know. There is a typo error. I was also confused. I didn't even look at the word keys. I also selected aspect. You are right. But then I look at this word, so then I changed it. Okay, in six, why not on? Okay, that's a preposition one. So you can't say looking on the bright side, looking at the bright side. Okay, so you always say look at this thing, look at the bright side, look at the bigger picture. Okay, we use look at a lot. All right, sir, I'm learning many things from you. Oh, thank you so much. That's what I'm hoping for, that you learn as much as you can. Please repeat the fifth one. Which is the fifth one? This statement not only dash is grip. Okay, so not only revealed his grade. I will get it checked. It could be defined as well. So I think it should be revealed. I will check the answer and I will let you know tomorrow for this one. Like I want to check it because it could be defined as well. Like this statement not only defined his grade, but more word appropriate will be like something which is showcasing. Okay, so that is why I selected revealed, and the answer also says revealed. But I will double check it as well for you guys. Okay, but why it is that? Because whole thing is going in the past. He's saying why he kept going, had been, everything is in the past. All right, were 100, so that is why I have to select something in the past. So it's between either defined or revealed. Okay, so that is why that's the reason for this one. Okay, for number six, as I told you, it's a preposition one, so looking at the bright side. Okay, all good. Any questions, any doubts in this one? Now let me just stop sharing the screen. So if we look at it again, I hope you guys learned something today. Just try to apply these rules whenever you are. If you have exam coming up, make sure that you try to do all the exam questions from the portal, and then it will be fine. Getting more correct answer than others, that give me confidence. Thanks a lot. Oh, thank you so much. That's good. I think it's not maybe dependent on me. Maybe you are listening more carefully, so that's why. But yeah, thank you so much if you feel like it's correct. I'll just share my number with you if you want, to everyone, because everyone is asking. So just send the text so that I can save it on WhatsApp. Send me your name and send like how much score you're looking for. And then if you have any issues or if you need any help, just let me know. My name is Farzan. Just save that and just send the text on WhatsApp. Exam is on 16th of August. Good luck, Shivali. I'm confused in despite. Despite, there will be always ing form before that. Sorry, before or after that. Okay, so just be careful with that. Despite being there, I was doing that. It is used just like instead of. So instead of and despite, they have the same meaning. But with despite, there is no comma, nothing. Okay, so with the end of this phrase, he will be using a comma. Okay, so just be careful of that. Shivali exam coming up. Good. Yes, 10-word strategy is working properly. So yeah, it's working fine, but it depends like how you are doing it. So just make sure in the 10-word strategy, don't make any single mistake. If you do that, then it will be fine. Okay. Reading section not going so good. Yeah, you need to practice, Shivali. There were some mistakes. Yeah, you should work on that. Confused how to improve reading blanks. That's what these classes are for, Sukhbir. By attending these classes and practicing, that's the only way you will be able to do that. On WhatsApp, not on Telegram. Are you able to help in speaking, listening mock? Yeah. I will try to do that, Manish. I'm not too sure if I could, but if I can't, I will ask someone else to do that definitely. Exam is on 28th. Good. How long this class is going on? A while now. It's been a while. Yeah, I think few months actually. Not 2 weeks. I am taking it for last week, but now it's my contact number as well, so you can contact me and as well as the WhatsApp. It's the same. But the reading class has been going on for like 2-3 months. Not 2-3 months. It's been a while. I think 1 year or something. All right. Can you ping your contact number again? But just make sure that in the WhatsApp, write your name and stuff so that I know who you are. Read aloud online strategies can be used if aiming for CS. It definitely can be. I've never seen you in Language Academy. What? Why? I usually come in the evening, but not now because now I'm taking the reading class, but I'm always there in the evening from 6 to 8. I think you should have seen me. Yeah, Shalu, this class is every day from Monday to Thursday, 6:30 to 8:30. Will be someone different. Again, it depends. Most like for now, it will be me, but I normally go to the campus, so we haven't decided yet. But for now, I will be taking the class. I don't know whether it's a good news or not, but yeah, I will be taking that from Pakistan. That's good. Mira, yes, 79 plus is working, but make sure that you do it correctly. So it's better to show it to someone. Coming to that, I should use one more line strategy. If in one line you're not making any mistake, then you can use that. But I would recommend show it to someone. Just show it to me, or if you go on the campus, just show it to someone so that they can evaluate what you are doing. It won't go down if you use it properly. So that's a good thing about the 10-word strategy. It will be fine. How many classes? Once a week. Once or twice a week should be fine, but more you do, the better. Tips for write. There are so many questions. Wait. Tips for write from dictation. Try to take initials. Yeah, just try to write as many initials as you can, and then just keep on mumbling in your mouth. That's what I used to do. What is one line? Okay, that's the read aloud strategy. Forget about this one. It's not related to reading. It's only for speaking. What's your recommendation for practice? Practice reading and just send your score to me. I will have a look. If you have done the exam before, then we can discuss that. All right. Thank you so much. Could you hold the section in reading to get 9? Yeah, do both of these blanks. Fill in the blanks reading and fill in the blanks reading and writing. Sachin, practice your read alouds and make sure that your reading is good. Practice reading Read aloud repeat sentences. Okay, repeat sentences, be very careful about. All right, that is it for today's class. I hope you like it. Yeah, in the mock you get very low score. Yeah, that will happen. Mocks are a bit tough, so if you're getting 65 plus in the mock, that's a good score. Okay, so just keep that thing in mind. All right, have a good night, everyone. I'll see you guys tomorrow, hopefully. Bye. Thank you so much.